producing
systemic suppression, repression, and oppression. A column of eyes, a medley of ears and tongues, all susceptible to intellectual and financial slums, spiritual, spherical, bodily and corporeal, fiscal, cerebral, emotional, material absence. Bellies and minds deprived from starvation wages, exiled, dispossessed, and without home from political displacement. We are in a state of war which breeds and perjures the conditions of the poor, a war which is framed and belied as one against terror, as one against drugs, as one against border crossers, one against thugs. But the wars we should be fighting are those waged against love. We parcel out billions, parcel out funds, prorate mentalities to use and advocate guns. We need demilitarization. We need to buttress an inclusive education, political, social, economic, and gender equalization, sea, space, and body privatization. Funneling blacks, Latinos, and Muslims through mass incarceration, the new Jim Crow creating tacit acceptation, eliminate the media's disenfranchising representation, which engenders and births the rise of surplus populations. We need to obviate the racial and ethnic bounds which demarcate worth, value, and personhood. Macabre conditions strewn across our global neighborhoods. Cogitate on the context of the lives of the poor. Unveil the end of poverty as the cessation of war. From the intra to the interstate, drones and bombs disseminate. We watch as these wars confiscate our veterans, our citizens, our denizens on social margins, a radar fixated on the boons which fill their pockets. Outsourcing, underpaying, overcharging, exacerbating, working peoples armed to rework this cycle, children bred by streets considered dead on arrival.
Slowly, until it becomes a part.
When you plant seeds of ideas in your mind, all your energy cannot be directed towards one sole seed. For after that one bud is gathered, you may think all is fine, but you will be left with hunger and exhaustion. Immigrants travel far and wide to reach a soil to be sucked into manual labor, slamming the door to access to good health, education. Their voices silenced from change. We the people wish to be the voice of the silence, to shake and redirect the psychological and financial wealth in the United States. We forget the simplest of truths. Oxygen, water, nourishment are all essential to our lives. So why do we continue to abuse and misuse the natural resources this enriched soil the earth has provided for us? We must stop referring to lands as worlds within our planet, exploiting resources that flourish these landscapes, rather than acknowledging the differences that we have among one another, such as I'm clean, they're not. I've worked for all that I have, and they have not. Everything I have, I deserve, and they are left with internalizing these stereotypes that limit their ability to conceive themselves in higher places. This makes for perpetual confining restriction, physically and mentally. There's the haves and the have-nots, which have historically been the case that has justified this disparity, a wealth disparity that must be reevaluated. How can one life be more valuable than another when they all have the same basic needs? We need to reinvest into the education system, teaching empathy and morality to enrich the future generations of this country. If we truly want to see a change in global poverty, then it is imperative to clarify the steps that have been made to deplete this cycle. The grassroots organizations that have struggled with a wish and a dream, but most importantly, their perseverance, to be the change they want to see. Standing in a ceasefire, we begin to see hope, adopting interdisciplinary visions within our scope.